Oh yeah, and we're back. Back with episode 101. This is Dirty Mike, and I am back here with Taps and Tailgates. If this is your first time listening, we're a beer review and sports podcast. Before we do get started, though, there are a couple things I wanted to address, because I am the only one on the episode this week. Navi decided he no longer wanted to do the show, so Navi won't be on the episodes anymore. Kerry J is still around. He will be back when he can. He has a really tough schedule. Working at Disneyland and working nights, stuff like that. But he will be back when he can. So it's going to be a little bit different. Before I jump into the first brewski yet, it's going to be a little different. Going to be, maybe a little bit more in depth on sports. Kind of be doing, maybe some different topics. I might get it a little bit more into hockey, stuff like that. But before we do get started on the first brewski review, I just wanted to mention all that. And I do have this first brewski we got. This is all 450 North lineup we have today, and they're all from Louis Liquor over at Foothill and Cerritos. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and crack this first one open. It's 4x450 North, called Water Turtle, and these are all Pokemon-inspired beers. This first one is a smoothie style sour ale with blueberry, pine guava, and double watermelon. We all know we're not really a guava podcast, but this one's coming in at 5.3%. So we're going to go ahead and crack this one open. Let's get a glass here. All right. And I'm also going to be sipping on a 28 Haze Later. That's a solid one. Let me go ahead and crack this one up. Let me give it a little smell here. Oh, that does smell good. Let's give it a little tasty here. Oh, yeah. Man, I swear, every time I have a 450, it's like, I know exactly what I'm going to get, and it's freaking bomb. And this Water Turtle is based off of, looks like it could be Blastoise from Pokemon. And it's actually really, really sweet cans. I did post a picture of a few of these the other day on the Instagram. So if you want to go and check that out, it's Taps AND Tailgates on Instagram. Also, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. And anytime you want to download an episode, all the links are in our bio on Instagram. All right, but back to the beer on this one. This one is really, really solid. I'd be hard-pressed to find a better smoothie-style sour ale than these, than anything from 450. So this one is even with the guava, I'm still going to give it a solid 9. It's got a really good mouthfeel. You definitely get in the watermelon. There is also a hint of guava in there as well, but it is really good. The blueberries coming out, the double watermelon. It's a solid beer, so I'm going to give it a solid 9. Had to jump in and get another one there. And I do want to talk a little bit this week. Obviously, we didn't have an episode last week on New Year's Day, so we didn't get to talk about any of the college football playoff games, any of the bowl games. But just what a freaking slate of great games! Though, like the college football playoff was Ohio State and Georgia. Ohio State with the late lead kind of blew it. I even saw this one highlight where it looked like it lined up perfectly on the East Coast with the ball dropping and then them missing the field goal. That's a tough way to lose. But Georgia, that's the reason why they're the champ. They came out battling, came out fighting. So you can't really knock them. But Ohio State played their hearts out. It did kind of show though. About Georgia's defense. Georgia obviously lost a lot last year to the NFL draft. And that's something you can't really do. You can't really. They lost, I think they got I don't know how many players drafted, 10, 11 players drafted last year. It's tough to repeat with that, the kind of defense they had last year, but hey, they played their hearts out. Stetson Bennett, was just a friggin' horse out there and got it done. Also, in the game, I don't think anybody really saw coming with Michigan and TCU. TCU killed it. They did exactly what they needed to do. They stopped Michigan on fourth down. They did give up some big plays, but the defense made plays when they needed to. Duggan had a couple of interceptions, but I don't think anybody saw that coming. So we'll see what happens there. But honestly, yeah, two are probably the best college football playoff we've ever seen. And I can't, just thinking back, I can't think of a better college football playoff with both games just going down to the wire like that. But kudos to all four teams for making it. I mean, kudos to Georgia, for winning. Kudos to Ohio State for having a hell of a year. Same thing out to Michigan. I mean, I think everybody thought that this would be the year that Michigan got over the hump. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. And, and speaking of Michigan, too, with Harbaugh, I mean, there's already talk about him leaving. They're also being investigated right now for some COVID protocols, all that sort of stuff. I mean, so we'll see what happens there. But is Harbaugh gone is kind of the big question. With Harbaugh, there's talk about him going to the Panthers maybe, the Colts, the Broncos, or maybe even staying with Michigan. Just kind of based on what we've seen, it feels like that he's going to be leaving, that Harbaugh's going to leave. Just based on like maybe some of the investigation that's going on right now with the program and with him. I'm not sure where he's going to go, but I mean, those are the three front runners right now, the Panthers, Colts, and Broncos. The Panthers, I still feel like they're in need of a rebuild. I like their defense. I mean, they got some studs on defense. The Colts, though, I don't know about the Colts. I mean, I really thought that this year, going after picking up Matt Ryan and Wade, and their defense they had last year, and then Jonathan Taylor, I mean, if you really felt like they were just a quarterback away from really making something happen. But, who knows? I mean, at this point, maybe Harbaugh comes in, maybe they draft a quarterback. I mean, that could change it. The Broncos, too. I mean, the Broncos, everybody thought, me included, I'll eat crow saying it. I mean, everybody thought that they were going to be back. I mean, everybody thought that they were going to be Super Bowl contenders. I mean, with that division, with the going into the season with the Broncos, the Raiders, the Chiefs, and all of that. And the Chargers thought that would have been, the best division in football. But I mean, the Broncos have been a major letdown. But I could see Harbaugh going there. I mean, I feel like the Broncos aren't as bad as their record is. I mean, I feel the same way about the Colts. I mean, eventually you just get to the point where you lose enough games, you kind of give up. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. Also, the rest of the other college games that happened, I mean, there were some good ones. And I'm sorry for if you hear that dog barking, I'm recording outside today. But some great college football games. The SC game, phenomenal game, even in a loss. And me being an SC fan, even though they lost, I mean, that defense is just horrendous. I mean, there's only so much you can say or so many excuses you can make about the defense. But I'm gonna go ahead and just reading all the stuff on Twitter about how Alex Grinch needs to get fired and all this other stuff. There's certain things, though. I don't feel like Grinch is the problem. I mean, we'll find out next year. But, when you look at the USC team as a whole, you knew the offense was going to be better with Lincoln Riley. The defense, the team was 4-8 last year. The defense wasn't going to get any better. So, why would people... they got a couple guys like Eric Gentry, and they got Mekhi Blackman, and, and they brought in, some other guys like Romello Height, and but Height got hurt early on in the year. So, in this case, give the guy a break. They have Thule on defense, and they got Mekhi Blackman, and name another All-American on that team. Like, how are you expecting a team like that to go, that was 4-8, to be like an elite defense, or not even like just a top 10 defense? You can't expect that. I feel like next year, with some of like Mason Cobb and some of the other guys they brought in, yeah, they definitely have a shot to be better. And if they're not better next year, then I think, yeah, you definitely have something to say about him. Because Alex Grinch, that's the thing. Like I said, it's not really his fault right now. There isn't enough talent on that defense to do anything. They're giving up points after points after points. What can you do? Once they get those guys back, they will be better. But, in the meantime, they're just going to have to try and figure something out. Hopefully this year with the defense, Well, this coming year with the defense, they are a lot better, but we'll see. And again, I'm sorry for the audio. In this case, the next one I want to talk about was the UCLA game. UCLA played the hearts out. DTR got hurt down towards the end of the game. There's only so much you could do there. But, I mean, without him, you had your backup come in, and he hasn't really played at all. So, I mean, he did what he could. He tried his freaking best out there. But, I mean, you just got to hope that they improve as well. I mean, and I think they're going to UCLA. I mean, Chip Kelly seems like it has it going in the right direction. They got that new recruit that just came in, or that's coming in, that quarterback, that 5-star kid, who I think is going to freaking kill it for UCLA under that offense. I mean, there was just so many great bowl games. Notre Dame won, so hats off to Carrie's Domers. They pulled it out. Alabama just shellacked freaking Kansas State, and I totally was wrong about that. I thought K-State was going to give them a game, but they didn't. So, I mean, what can you do? But I think Notre Dame just got a lot better, too. When they just got Sam Hartman from Wake Forest, I feel like he's going to kill it over there. But that's pretty much all I have on there is kind of like headlines. But, we'll jump into the next brewski. I'm going to start it off with this one. I believe it's another 450 North. Obviously, I said these are all plays off of Pokémon. This one is Persian Cat. This one is another smoothie style ale with orange, marshmallow, graham cracker, and tangerine. This one coming in at 5.3% as well. Let's crack her open, eh? Here we go. Let's see what we got. And these are all rollers if you guys get one. There we go. All right, let's do it. Let's get this thing. And obviously, this is obviously my first episode by myself here on the show. So, give me some time. I'm going to work it all out, baby. Here we go. Let's drink this one. Oh, yeah. Oh, that is solid. This Persian Cat one is, see, it's a playoff Meowth. Even has the Pokeball on it. It's freaking, I think this is better than the water turtle. This is really, really good. Thoroughly enjoy that. I'm going to have to jump back in there for another one here. Oh, damn. Yeah. I'm definitely going to rate this above water turtle. I'm going to go 9.5 on this one. This one is solid, solid, solid. All right. Next thing I'd like to jump into, because we do have the College Football Playoff Championship coming up on Monday. This is going to be Stetson Bennett's last game. We got Georgia and TCU. Should be a solid one. We're going to find out what happens there. But Stetson Bennett's last game coming up. I think they are going to be okay. I mean, with Georgia and TCU, the spread, I was just shocked what the spread was. But, so the spread is at 12.5. Georgia's favored by 12.5. The over, though, is 63. And this line could change. It is Sunday right now. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But who knows how it's going to go. And we'll jump into that. But we got Stetson Bennett's last game, Brock Bowers. Is Georgia going to repeat? That's the big question. That's the one thing that everybody's wondering, because when I looked at a stat the other day, it wasn't a stat. It was just a map of everybody that's cheering for Georgia and everybody's cheering for TCU. And I think it's the entire, from Middle America to the West Coast, is everybody's cheering for TCU, and everybody going from Middle America to going east is cheering for Georgia, obviously. But one thing about it is no team in the college football playoff era has repeated as champ. That was just, I was kind of shocked to see that, because, with Clemson and Alabama, obviously leading off when the playoff first started, it was kind of shocking to think that. But we'll see what happens there. TCU hasn't won a national title since 1938. So, they're due at this point. But I really feel like it could be a really good matchup. I know people are pounding Georgia, and Vegas really loves Georgia in this game. But I really do think it could be a good matchup. But I feel like Duggan the TCU defense are the key, though. I mean, Duggan's just got to make sure he minimizes the mistakes. I mean, if he can have a clean game, not turn the ball over, then I think they'll be okay. And the defense, too. If Duggan can keep it clean and the defense can create a turnover or two and make a couple of really big plays, they definitely have a shot. I mean, I don't think that, people are giving TCU enough credit. And honestly, I didn't give TCU enough credit. I feel like they got it. I mean, I feel like they've shown all year, and I mean, they've had the moxie all year, to be able to get it done. I mean, with Duggan, and if they can get Quentin Johnson, who's a bad man, to maybe make some plays, and the defense can, make some plays. I feel like Georgia, they have a lot of weapons. Like I said, with Brock Bowers, Stetson Bennett, but that defense is not not what it was last year. I mean, they have a decent defense. Obviously, it's better than SC's defense. SC's defense is just absolute garbage. But excuse me, and I really do feel like TCU does have a shot. They should not be counted out, not one bit. I really hope they do, and I hope for Wolfie, because Wolfie's a big TCU fan. I hope they win it for Wolf. This game I feel like could be an over game too. But we'll see how that all works out. I mean, I really want TCU to win, because I think everybody's kind of wants the SEC to not win this one. Me being one of them. Even though I do like Georgia, I think Kirby Smart's a phenomenal coach, and then also Sonny Dykes. What Sonny Dykes has done, in his first year with TCU, I mean, you can't knock what he's done. He's done so well. In this case, though, I am going to go with my pick. I am going to go with TCU to win it all. I think it's going to be a really tight game. It could be a field goal game, but I got TCU in a tight one. So we'll see how that goes, and good luck to both teams. Good luck and congrats to both teams. All right. Like I said, this is going to be a shorter episode today, but I just wanted to put something out there, and I'm going to jump into the next Brewski review. This next one is a playoff of Moltres. It's called Firebird from 450 North. This one's also at 5.3%. This one has strawberry, cherry, lactose, strawberry ice cream, and cherry ice cream. So let's go ahead and let's give her a whirl here. All right. Let's see what we got. Oh, yeah. And this is another sweet can, too. It looks like it has the Moltres wings on it behind the Pokeball. Let's give it a whirl. That one is really good, too. All of these so far, all three so far, have just been solid beers. Wow. 450 the North, man. I swear, every time. I'm going to sound like a broken record this entire episode, but holy crap, this is good stuff. I really like this one. You really do, it has, all of these have so far had a really good mouthfeel to them. I want to say you really do get that, get the cherry ice cream and the strawberry ice cream. It is really, really, really solid. Go in there and again. Anything from 450 North, you're going to get a solid beer. You're going to get an incredible beer. But one thing I did want to say, too, is about DeMar Hamlin. I did want to talk about that a little bit. Don't take it. You can be the healthiest person in the world, and something like that can happen to you. And if anybody listening that doesn't know what happened to him, he had to get CPR on the field. He just collapsed. He went into cardiac arrest. And shout out to Denny Kellington, the trainer for the Bills, who was the one who got him to breathe again. You can't say enough about that guy. He's my teammate or coach of the week. For being able to do something like that, and then he's back and DeMar's doing a lot better. He's breathing on his own. He was able to FaceTime with his teammates. Just really appreciate life and appreciate the gift that we have, that we're able to, be alive every day. I mean, that's all I wanted to say about that. I just wanted to, give Damar a shout out. I mean, nobody ever wants to see something like that, but really, really, there's heroes out there that don't always get the credit, and Denny Kellington, the trainer, deserves all the credit in the world for what he did. So, big shout out to Denny Kellington, the teammate / coach of the week, because that's one of the things I'm going to start doing. Also did want to go over the matchups this week. We're going to get back into the matchups here. I mean, in regards to the Packers with these NFL matchups, I'm just hoping the Packers can win. I mean, they have the Lions on Sunday. I believe the line is at 4.5. The Packers win and get in. And I think it's the same for the Lions. I could be wrong. But we'll see how that all goes. I'm just hoping the Pack can, make it back in. Because the last time that they had a chance at the playoff was when, won the Super Bowl, back in 2010, 2011 season. They were a wild card team. And they ran the table. And I feel like they are playing their best football as of right now. All right, but we'll jump into the playoff matchups. So far, the Kansas City is the number 1 seed. And then we got Buffalo as the 2 seed. The Bengals are the 3 seed. We also got the Jags coming in at the 4 seed. Like, honestly, kudos to why can't Doug Peterson? I couldn't think of his freaking name at the moment. And then we got the Chargers at the 5 seed. So Gunners Chargers made the playoffs. And then we got the Ravens, and then also the Dolphins as the 7 seed. So we have we ended up being the Bills against the Dolphins, Bengals, Ravens, because the Chiefs have a bye week, and then we have Jags, Chargers. Jags are playing ball. Jags are playing ball right now. If I had to make a choice, though, I'm not going to do spreads or anything like that when it comes to the Bills or any of the playoff games. But the Bills, got to give them, with Josh Allen and everything like that, they're, I feel like the Bills should beat the Dolphins, and the Bills will be at home. Who knows if they get snowed out again? We'll find out. If it's going to be snowing there, Jammin's probably going to be there. Then we got the Bengals and the Ravens. The Bengals obviously, took care of the Ravens today, so I got the Bengals winning that game. And then the Jags-Chargers, I'm just going to come out and say it. I think the Jags beat the Chargers. Jags are playing good ball. Trevor Lawrence playing well. Evan Ingram, my dog, my fantasy team, guy's a bad motherfucker. But yeah, those are my picks for the AFC. We'll jump into the NFC right now. And with the NFC, we have, the Eagles are the number 1 seed, so they get the bye week. And then we got the Niners against either the Packers or the Seahawks. Hopefully the Packers can hold on and win and beat Detroit. But the Niners just have the Packers number, and it freaking kills me every time because it's one team. Them and the Cowboys I hate. I will always hate them, and I'll never pick them. So if the Packers do win, I'm going to pick the Packers. If it's the Seahawks, I think the Niners just have the better team. That's Gunner's second team. I'm going to go Niners if it's the Seahawks, and then I'm going to go Packers if it's the Niners-Packers. And then in the 3 seed, we have the Vikings, and the 4 seed is the Bucks. 5 seed the Cowboys, 6 seed the Giants. Got to give it to the Giants too. They showed up. 3 teams from the NFC East. Who would have thunk it? So we'll go. So if it's the Vikings and the Giants, who knows with the Vikings, because you don't know what team's going to show up, what team's going to come up, show up to play. Still think they have more than the Giants right now. I feel like the Giants, even with Daniel Jones and Saquon and all those guys, I'm going to go Vikings. And then here we go. The fucking Buccaneers. Tom Brady won't go away. The Bucks against the Cowboys. With the Bucks and the Cowboys, the Bucks are at home. So solely based on that, and being Tom Brady and the Cowboys in the playoffs, they always find a way to cowboy their shit up. I'm going to go the Buccaneers. So, but anything can happen. Honestly, there's always upsets in the NFL, at least in the first round or two. So we'll see what happens, but I don't know. I just don't know about that game. I feel like it's gonna be a tough one because the Bucks haven't played great ball. They're 8-8. Cowboys have a better record, but because they're not a division winner, they don't get home field, even though they have a better record than the Buccaneers. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Oh, one thing more than anything is, I think y'all know. I just really, really hope that the Packers can freaking win. I mean, I know I told Nov last year, I was like, I wasn't going to pay attention, and I haven't paid attention as much this year. I mean, after the last few years of being the number one seed and, losing at home to the Bucks a couple of years ago in the NFC title game, and then losing to the, who they lose to, the freaking 49ers of all teams. But, I mean, we'll see how it all goes. I mean, I hope the Packers can pull it out, and I feel like they are playing their best football right now. I feel like the defense is playing well. They're not having to rely so much on Aaron Rodgers. They're able to use A.J. Dillon. They're able to use Aaron Jones. So I'm just hoping that they can freaking pull it out and make it in the playoffs. And they'd end up, lo and behold, probably end up playing the 49ers over at their stadium, over in San Francisco or Santa Clara. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with that, but I do want to jump into the next beer here. It's called Electric Squirrel. It is a playoff of Pikachu. And this is, like I said, these are all from 450 North. This is coming in at 5.3% as well. This one, I'm not a big banana. I mean, I love bananas. I love banana bread, all that good stuff, but this is banana cream and vanilla cream. So it's definitely a roller. So let me go ahead and I will crack this one open, See here. Okay, let's go. Oh, this one is really, really light. Just the color on this one, it is like it almost looks like a hazy. That's what this color is on this one. But yeah, well, let's give her a taste, Not for me. Not even a little bit. I'm not the biggest. This isn't a knock on you, 450. I'm just not the biggest banana person. This one, I'm probably only going to give this a 5. I just can't do it with banana. It's just not really for me. I'm not really feeling that one. What do you do? I mean, they're not everything is going to be a 10. But I did want to kind of talk about, too, before I do the next brewski, I just wanted to mention a few things. What I kind of have on the docket coming up. For taps, like I said, things are different now. Nov's no longer doing the show. Obviously, Jizzy hasn't done the show in quite some time. And Kerry J is going to be back when he can. But I just wanted to talk about where I see this thing going in the future. And honestly, where I see it going is breweries, really, for me. Like, I want to get brewers on. Have a couple lined up. Working on dates right now. But Brewery Yard in LA, I'm working on that, getting that locked up. Also have, what's the other one? 3 Iron Brewing over in Colton. So I'm going to be out there visiting them. But I'm also going to get beer influencers on from Instagram. Like guys like Peaky Boozer. They're out in London. Also got some guys like San Diego Brew Tour, other guys and girls too, like anybody in the craft beer community that I can work with and just be able to bring you more content. Because what I can do is be able to talk to these people, find out just say you're traveling to Tennessee and I'm talking to someone that's out there, they can talk about the breweries that you can go to. And hit all the kind of not just the touristy spots, but the secret spots. Not trying to make this like Anthony Bourdain or anything like that, R.I.P., but just try to add things to the brewery and different things to the show. I want to do what I can to be able to grow this thing and bring it all together, even if it's just me, some weeks. But being able to get these different brewers on, get these beer influencers on, I just want to give you guys as much content as possible and be able to continue to grow it, try new beers, do all that sort of stuff. Because like I said, I'm not an aficionado or anything like that, but just be able to enjoy being able to have a good time, talk a little sports, drink some beers, have a good fucking time. Because that's what this is about for me. It's just enjoying it and getting his buzz on. I mean, what more do you want? And this is going to be a short one this week, but, what do you do? But I'm going to jump into Brewski number 5. Yeah, Brewski 5 already. Jeez. Flying through these. But this one is called Poison Dino. This is the last one that I have. There are so many more that 450 did of the Pokemon collection. These are the only 5 that I was able to get my hands on. But yeah, this one's called Poison Dino. It looks like Venusaur or Bulbasaur. This one also coming in at 5.3%. This one is kiwi, passion fruit, coconut cream, limoncello. I probably butchered that. Let's see, pineapple and lychee. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. But we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and crack this one open here. There we go. This is a roller, eh? Liking the color on this one. Let's see how she is. Let's go ahead and take a little drink here. Oh, man. That one's got a different taste to it. Still really, really solid. It's got a different taste, but you're definitely getting everything on there, though. You're definitely getting the kiwi. I'm really liking the kiwi on here. Passion fruit, not really a passion fruit person. You do get coconut on the back end. And you definitely get pineapple. Definitely heavy pineapple on this. But this is really, really good. It has a different taste to it, but I'm going to give it a 10. I'm going to give it a BFT. This one is absolutely solid. I really do enjoy it. Let's see. I'm going to go in there one more time. Yeah, this is definitely a BFT for me. Thoroughly enjoy this one. Just want to say that I do appreciate all you guys, the listeners, the followers on Instagram. Like I said, this is going to be a short episode. This is my first one doing it on my own. But I thoroughly enjoy doing this with you guys and for you guys. So, and also we will no longer be doing the live format, the Instagram live each week. It's just going to be, I'm going to record it and then put it on all the podcast platforms. All right. Well, that'll do it for this episode. Episode 101, the one mic only. And I will be back next week. And we'll see if Carrie J will be back. We will keep this sucker rolling, eh? All right. Well, and I might just start telling stories on the show too, because I love telling stories. Especially, some of them might be pretty bad, but we'll find out. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this one. Like I said, I apologize. Mike was a little nervous coming in, but keep it going. I will keep it going and take the over, fuckers.